So welcome everybody. It's a privilege and an honor to be actually standing in front of you. I'm going to tell you the story about this orange shirt. Um, I'm the general manager of Launch Academy. Launch Academy is Vancouver's and Western Canada's top startup hub and tech incubator. You come here to, or you come to us to launch your idea off the to accelerate your startup or to connect with amazing mentors, alumni, and just successful entrepreneurs who are willing to help you, and most importantly, to get shit done. That's why you come to us. So, before coming to Vancouver, I landed in Vancouver actually almost two and a half years ago, February 2014, and before that, I was in Dubai. So, is this working? Let's see. Yes. So, Dubai is an awesome. Anybody who has been in Dubai before?
I just came from Dubai.
Okay. Incredible city. As you can see, like it's where all the wonders. It's Las Vegas of the Arab world, basically. I'm from Syria originally. Lived in Dubai for 11 years. Loved living there, and I really didn't want to come to Vancouver. I was reluctant. My wife dragged me here, and basically, for me, success was whatever I achieved in Dubai. I was very well paid, made a lot more money than I made here. Was very well known in the community. The people that I like and I love, and had my friends. Came here, knew nobody. I knew 2 people in Vancouver, period. And they're people that I knew in Dubai that accidentally moved to Vancouver. But so the thing is. But something really hit me because I had a certain definition of success when I was in Dubai. Dubai, for those of you who've been there or know about it, is while it's amazing, there are amazing people there, it's a very superficial city. So it's all about the watch you're wearing, the pen you're carrying, the suit. I have many suits that I don't wear anymore in Vancouver. It's like, you guys don't wear any suits. I threw actually most of my wardrobe away. So came here, and there was. I always wanted to go back, so I didn't even bother networking. I think I went to one event the first few months, and I was always working on my work in Dubai because I'm coming back. And then March came, and I live in West Vancouver, one of probably the most amazing cities in the world. I was in John Lawson Park, and I had 2 of my kids. Julie, she's 8, Zane, he's 11, and at the time they were a couple of years younger. And they were playing, and at that moment hit me, is that what is really success? And at Dubai, success was the higher I got, how much money I have, what type of car do I drive, who do I hang out with. But something hit me at that moment, and I realized that success is actually enjoying time with my kids. Because what hit me really hard is that I lived 11 years in Dubai. Half of those I had kids. And I never got to play with my kids in the same way. I never got to experience that without the demand on my time that I had when I was in Dubai. Because in Dubai, a client would call you 10 p.m. and you'd go for coffee and you'd go work. There's 0. We don't sleep there. So that was when I really found what true success is. And then decided to go close my businesses in Dubai. 2 businesses, and came back here, and I was back here in May, and I started my firm. So I faced a different problem at the time. In Dubai, and where I come from, the more you do, the bigger catch you are. You guys have something wrong here happening. Because wherever I go, you're overqualified. Couldn't find a job. It's like, what does it mean overqualified? You mean you don't pay me less money and getting more out of me? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I had the most amazing profile first, the first page. You don't do that, obviously. Your resumes are boring as hell. So I went to BC, Work BC, and the caseworker looked at because of course I have to find a job. That's how we do. They do your resume, go find a job. I'm an entrepreneur. It's like, I reluctantly went. My wife's like, you're going to find a job. That's what you're doing. Yes, honey. So I went there. She looked at my profile, and then the worker looked at me. It's like, that doesn't work. Sorry. Chucked it away, and I had to work on my resume. And I applied to around 200 positions, and I got the interview. And I said, okay, this is not working. got to put my entrepreneur hat back again. So I focused, I said, what do I really want to do? Me, the first lesson that I knew, but I never really it never really landed for me. In Vancouver it landed, because in Dubai you could do anything. Like I could go somewhere, I can like a chameleon, you know, like I will be whatever the client wants me to be, and I will land the job, and that's what mattered. Here people, like I noticed that people couldn't deal with me doing anything. Like you had to be identified as something. So I realized that you needed to be a brand. I needed to be a brand. So I need to stand for something. A brand doesn't mean like, you know, big thing, but it means that you need to stand for something. So the one thing I started doing is like, why do I do what I do? So what I learned from Work BC on how to write my resume, I applied it to my LinkedIn profile. And it was actually very helpful. So I rewrote my LinkedIn profile and got very, very clear on why I do what I do, how I do it, and what I do. And I started connecting with people. And within a couple of months, I connected with around 2,000 people in Vancouver, actually 3,000 at the time. LinkedIn came very close to banning me. And I got 5 job offers. 5 job offers without applying for one job. And I met some of the most incredible people in the community. Entrepreneurs, some of the most amazing people, I met them in Vancouver. And it's all because I started behaving like I stand for something. So that was the first learning, but then came the reality of something, which is, you know, money is scarce, so I had to innovate. I had to do things differently. I can't do things the way I used to do. So instead of going out there and looking for a job, I went out there and I asked the best question I've ever asked. And that question changed my life, actually. The question was, who do I need to meet in Vancouver? So I would be sitting with someone who's a prolific entrepreneur, amazing investor, who can hire me, how I can ask for help, and I wouldn't. What I would ask him is, or ask her, who do I need to meet in Vancouver? Who's worth meeting? And I should know. And people start referring me to other people. And I've got some of the best referrals. Like the emails would say, Hussein is a new entrepreneur, just landed in Vancouver. He's amazing, you have to meet him. I was like, this guy who just knew me, he's presented me that way. The other person would want to meet me. To the point that the first startup I worked with, when the investor of that startup walked in the office, I went and said hello, and the CEO looked at me like, how the heck do you know him? And the CEO that hired me at the time, I worked at a startup called 3-Tier Logic. Their CEO is Rob Craig, amazing person. And he moved me from a junior marketing to working on strategy with him because of my connections and because I applied the economics of innovation. I started acting as an entrepreneur. And I realized as a person, you need to act like a startup. And what do? You go test things. So I started experimenting. Right now, how many of you have more than 5,000 connections on LinkedIn? 2. How many has more than 10,000? Just 1. How many do you have? Okay, so I'm right behind you, coming there. So what I started doing is started experimenting with LinkedIn. I started treating it like a product. It's my website. I canceled my website, canceled my blog. LinkedIn became my first strategy. So I operated like a startup, and I said, I can't rely on my job because I'm not a jobs person. I loved working at a startup, but that's not who I am. I'm a startup. So I started connecting with people and started trying different things, like trying to help people, trying to donate my time, things that I've never done before. And suddenly, everybody knew me in Vancouver, and everybody wanted to work with me. And I ended up being at Launch Academy just because I actually stepped up. And this is probably, if ever, the best lesson that I can actually share with you that I've learned, is when you're offered a seat on a spaceship, shut the fuck up and get on the spaceship. You never question. So what happened is, at Launch Academy, I joined as a member 2.5 years ago. But when I left, they asked me and said, do you want to mentor? Because you have some experience and my Dubai part said, well, how much I'm going to get paid? That was the first question. And what's in it for me? And then the new part, the entrepreneur, I said, let me try this. And I said, sure. And that's the journey that landed me the best job in the world, where I got work with this incredible team. And I got to meet some of the most amazing entrepreneurs. I mean, if I tell my friends in Dubai that I've actually took a photo, because in the tech world, these are our heroes, right? Travis, Mark Zuckerberg. We don't look at the other celebrities. These are our celebrities. So if I tell them I got to meet Ryan Holmes, I got to meet Travis from Uber, I got to meet all these amazing entrepreneurs, they flip out and they see my pictures. That is what I got to do because I said yes and because I jumped on a spaceship and I never questioned. And I never said, you know what, maybe I need something in it for me. So I worked at Launch Academy as if they paid me for almost 2 years, and then they ended up doing that. And that is why this orange shirt stands for this. The reason why I wear it all day. You probably never see me outside a Launch Academy shirt, even when I'm with my kids or at the supermarket. And it's because this is what this shirt stands for. It's about doing what I love with the people I love, okay, where I love to work. There's no one at my team that I wouldn't actually want to spend time with, have lunch with, go have a talk with. And that is a life worth living for me. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you got some value out of that. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer that. Thank you. Operate as if you're paid $1 million. So when I was an entrepreneur, I was a mentor, I would go in and I would give my all in that mentorship session, and I would follow up with the entrepreneurs, and I would give them whenever they asked me, I would always be present. So, and then they asked me to work as a head instructor. That one they paid me, but it's nothing compared to what I used to get paid when I do workshops. But I didn't care. I didn't even ask about the money. I didn't even look at the contract. I just signed. I said, yes, I'm going to do that. That's how I operate, and that changed everything for me. Any other questions? You're welcome. Okay, I either was very horrible or good. Go ahead. Yes. Right now, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing every day. My biggest dream is to actually put Launch Academy on the map as a representation of Vancouver, as a representation of this amazing community. What I love about Launch Academy is that it's not its own organization. It represents Vancouver and the community in Vancouver. It's everybody. And that's what I love the most about it. So whenever I work there, I feel I work for every single one of you. And I feel like that's what I'm dedicating my life to. So I feel, yes, I found the place where I can dedicate my life to, but nobody knows what the future holds. I've had many offers to join. I mean, when I say many, 2, 3, don't say this, I'm not. So 2, 3 offers that say startup in San Francisco, some companies that had funding, and the answer was no, you can never give me what Launch Academy is giving me. Yes? Yeah.
Or make one big change, what would it be?
Funding for entrepreneurship, not just coding. So to have funding for entrepreneurs to go through entrepreneurship courses, because entrepreneurship skills, while being an entrepreneur, the choice to be an entrepreneur is never something that is taught. It's a choice available for you. But the entrepreneurship skills are absolutely crucial for survival. And I've seen way more entrepreneurs losing a lot of time, valuable time, money, and everything, doing the wrong thing. And that's one of my missions, is to actually make entrepreneurship acceleration and education available for them, so that they end up building products that people want. I wouldn't know. They're talking about coding, I think, more than I'm writing an article about that coding is great, but it's the first step. We need more entrepreneurship skills. And there are some organizations like The Next Big Thing, Yale, there are the Young Entrepreneur Program, and Startup School. So there are some initiatives, but nothing from that I know of. I may be completely wrong. Nothing from the government that is directly supporting entrepreneurs as much as supporting other things. Not funding, like supporting entrepreneurship education in schools. Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think is the biggest problem for an entrepreneur or a new startup
Yeah, building products that nobody wants. That's the biggest problem. A lot of entrepreneurs, what they do is they start building a product before talking to the customer. And like you need to be talking to your customer, you need to be selling them air, something that doesn't exist. And when you find a group of crazies just like you that are willing to buy into your product before even building it, then you go build it. And very few entrepreneurs are doing that. 90% of entrepreneurs fail because 90% of entrepreneurs succeed in building a product that nobody wants. Any other questions, guys? All right. Thank you very much. And if you have anything, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thanks, man.